You got to get a couple pliers. You're gonna need a pliers and a pry tool, and you need a Phillips screwdriver. That's the tools you need to get this job done. To open the battery case is 2 Phillips screws, so go ahead and remove those. Alright, came right out. So we have a couple batteries we have to deattach, put new ones, and connect them up too. So what we're gonna go ahead and do, we gotta pry this out. Right out the case right there. So just like that. So now what you do, you just open it up. The battery should just slide right out. They're glued together too, so be careful. Break them apart. See how it's glued right here? Yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to break it apart. You're gonna reuse this. You're gonna reuse this case. So the plastic piece, you're gonna reuse it. So don't lose it. This one doesn't really tell you which one is plus and minus, but we could figure out. We'd figure out just with a multimeter. Yeah, so this way. So this is plus right here. If you buy one of these batteries, this side would end up being the plus side right here, and this side is the minus side. So this one right here, you're gonna have to take this piece off. You're gonna have to reuse this. I like to reuse them. So you just straighten it out, and you're gonna solder it back onto the battery. So like I said, this side came off over here. So if you look, like I said, this side over here is the minus. You see how it's identical right here? So this side is the minus. You can see minus, they look identical. So now we go ahead and solder this piece back on here. But I gotta get somebody to hold it for me. All right, we're gonna let it warm up, do its thing, and then we solder this piece. You have to solder this piece onto the You have to solder this piece onto the battery. So I'll show you guys how to do that in a second. Now that you have one side soldered to the negative side of the battery, you're gonna go ahead and solder another battery in series to the positive side. The battery you're gonna put on top that you see me soldering now is to the positive side. These batteries are wired in series, so one got the terminal on the negative, and you're gonna solder the other battery to the positive post. The battery you're putting onto the one with the metal piece already soldered is gonna be soldered to the positive side. So you remember that bracket that the batteries were placed in and glued in? You're gonna reuse that bracket. So now you need it. So now the battery that you just put together, you're gonna go ahead and put one on the lower side and try to put the other battery to stand up so it fits. This is me right here just testing the battery, just making sure everything is the same size, so when we go to put the casing back onto the battery, we have no issues. Guys, so like I said, you gotta have a second hand. When you try to do it by yourself, you won't be able to get it because it's gonna be moving around. So like I said, I had a couple guys help me out with a second hand real quick. So now I have to do the other side on this side real quick. I just have to disconnect this side right here and solder a new battery to it, and I should be okay. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna record this side real quick, and it's the same concept for the rest of the sides. So the little metal tabs, you want to go ahead and remove those little metal tabs because you're gonna reuse them. So let's take them off, put them off to the side, and then the pieces that you had to take off the battery, the metal tab, to straighten them out. The ones that's attached to the wires, straighten them out because you have to reuse them when you go ahead and put the other batteries together. It just helps out a lot. Guys, so you see we've been making great progress. So now we are trying to solder like the last two couple batteries. But remember, you have to get the solder hot enough so everything stick. If the solder is not hot enough, it's completely gonna break easily when you pick the battery up. So make sure you get the solder hot enough, take your time, and go ahead and solder the wires onto the battery. So fast forward, the battery is coming together, and we had to bench test it one last time before we go ahead and put it in the case. And you guys remember the beginning of the video where we plugged the battery in and it was blinking red. Now it's blinking green. So we definitely made progress. Let me know. So now all we have to do is put it back into the case. I'm gonna hang the soldering iron off the toolbox because I'm not trying to get burnt. So now we gotta find a way to tuck this back into the case real quick. Tuck it back into the case safely. You might have to clip it down just a little bit for it to fit back into the case itself. Actually, let's pull it back out. Let's sit it onto the board itself. Yeah, sit it onto the board. Sit everything down, and then try to get it into the case. So now let's try to get it in the case and see what happens. Make sure everything is sitting flush, like that. See if we can get the bottom piece on. Make sure everything sit where they try to sit everything flush as possible. And then try to get it back into the case. See what happens. Only goes one way. There you go. Take your screws, screw it down, see what happened, guys. That's how you rebuild a Snap-on battery. Let's see. If it goes down, we know we're good. Everything is in good shape. Let's try again. Flush as possible. These batteries is kind of bigger too, so it might not sit how it wants to, but I think you get it close enough as possible, you should be good. That's what I'm doing. You want to make sure the case is tight. There you have it, guys. That's how you close the case up. And that's it. We're pretty much done. Close this one back up. We're going to test it one last time, see what happens. So we're at the end of the video, guys, and if you guys like what you've seen, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm definitely going to catch you guys in the next one. Go out there, be good to others, and be good to yourself.